it's guard who plays from bottom, mostly from side control and from bottom half guard. It's a really scrambly guard. It's really a good guard to reverse your opponent when he's really trying to go for pins, try to control the side control and cross facing. Okay, so basically, let me show you how it looks like. Okay, for me, here he has half guard, and basically just to show you how it looks like, it's this position. Okay, so it's like I have a half guard configuration here. Let's say he beat my knee shield or whatever, or I initiated the movement, so I'm sitting up really high, and this arm is on top here. That's basically Octopus guard, and from here we can play reversals, or just take the back from here. So going through this, the basics, just to get there, we're going to focus on the upper body first, so you get the concept of it. So what we really want, I mean, most of you, those who play half guard with knee shield, know the position of, getting knee shield through and then fishing for underhook, okay? Now we're going to go the opposite side. So instead of going to the same side where the knee shield is and go fish for the underhook, we're going to just push. If it's me initiating, I'm just going to push the knee shield through and then try to go under his arm, duck under it, and get to that position, okay? So the first move that's really important is beating the cross face. So either he's coming towards that cross face, to get me flattened on my back, or it's me initiating the movement, so I bring my knee shield down. For example, I have a 2-on-1, and I bring it over my head and get into that position. So it's really important to beat that cross face before you initiate going to the back, because if he cross faces you and just flattens you, even if you have the arm here, it's like basically that you can't go around. Okay? So that's the first important. Let's now go to the second part. We beat the cross face. Doesn't matter how, if it's me initiating or he goes for the cross face, and I manage to duck under. Second part is the top arm is gonna block his shoulder. Why? The shoulder, so he can't cross-face me again. So his first movement is trying to bring this arm over and then cross-face me again. So if I let that happen, then you worked hard for nothing and he's pinning you back. So that's really the first important movement. Bringing your arm against his armpit and blocking his shoulder with your elbow. And then the second important step, or the second part of the Octopus guard, is really important after beating the crossface, is building height. You can do some sweeps from being here really underneath him on bottom, but it's really ideal if you manage to build height and get up on top. How do we get that? So if you do it slowly, you're really important. First, we're gonna start building the base on the elbow here with the hand, and then afterwards, when we feel secure, it's always important. Building height is also keeping this hand in mind, always keeping pressure here. And then afterwards, when you have your base on your elbow, just go up like this. Okay? Not here. Here, that base is not strong. He can collapse you back. If he pushes into me, Tommy, you're back into this position. So really, you want to expose your elbow that way away from him. So it's pushing it against him. Okay? So let's try this out first. So you get that position. And you can try it out a bit. So start first from half guard. Okay, let's say it's either I have the knee shield and I initiate the movement by grabbing 2-on-1 on the opposite arm and bringing it over and duck here. Like I said, arm backwards, so we protect against the cross face. We start building height and sitting up in this position. Okay? Or you can also practice this, like he beats my knee shield and he tries to go for the cross face. Same thing. We try to duck under, so we're using our hands to guide his cross face arm away. And then same thing. We clamp down with the elbow, so he can't cross face me again. We build up on our elbows and then on the hand, and then we're sitting here. Okay, let's give that a try. Okay, let's go. Let's go back in that position. So, most of you, I mean, all of you really did well. So, what's really important now, we're doing it slowly to get to that beating the cross face. But what we really want in a sparring situation when he's coming towards me or I'm initiating the movement, really doesn't matter. I want him to basically face plant next to me, okay? So I'm not doing this and then trying to go up here and then take it slowly. Because if he's faster than me, he's gonna push up before I manage to get here, and then he gets the crossface again. So really, when you initiate the movement, when you do a bit more speed to the movement, or he goes through a crossface, whatever, it's really, I'm bringing him down towards the, like, I'm really bringing his face towards the mat. If he face plants, it's his problem. Okay, so that's what I really want for this position. Okay, so from here, basically, depending on your partner's reaction, there are several sweeps you can do and several moves you can do. I'm going to show the basic ones from here. Like I said, we play half guard. Tommy, can you turn that way? So basic half guard. I mean, most of you know that probably is just, poking that foot away. So one of the basic sweeps is when you get that click here, is forcing that knee that way, okay? You're forcing that knee that way, I'm sitting up and I bring him up, just like he's forced to go with the movement because I'm talking his knee away. I mean, except he has no ACL, no meniscus, nothing, and he might not follow, but then I don't think he should be doing jiu-jitsu. So if we manage to get here, and before he hides his foot, we manage to talk his leg, his knee away. My legs are not that long, so if you have longer legs and you manage to get his foot into the crook of your knee, perfect, even better, it's even worse for him. But basically, we're sitting up here, and I bring it, for me, I have short legs, I just hook his shin, and now I'm just turning, forcing his knee to go that way. And I sit up more, helping with this hand, sit up more, if needed. Now that I went past the center line, if needed, I just cup the leg and bring it more, like this, okay? So that's an easy one to do. So here, we're basically, like I said, we get the knee click here, hook here, shin, and we're turning a bit towards him, okay? It's not really comfortable, so I'm not gonna do it too much. Guys can try it. Another one you can do, it's pretty similar. It's just now we're in this position, we're gonna switch our hands, okay? So this hand is over here, we're gonna switch to this grip, and at the same time, I'm gonna switch my knees, okay? So I'm bringing here and bring him over here. So the movement is it's basically the opposite movement now. The first one, I was talking his knee away from me. This one now, for me, being here and sitting up, the bottom half guard is blocking his leg, and it's pushing the knee backwards towards me, and I'm pushing him over that way. So one more time. So here I managed to get the click, talk his knee away. I'm really sitting up, and I push him here that way. And then the other one, I have a normal half guard. Bottom hook is here. This one is free. I'm sitting up. I'm gonna switch. Okay, so this hand is switching around, grabbing here, and you see this foot is just poking that knee away down. Okay. Let's turn this way so you can see as well. Up here. So first one, I managed to hook that knee, talking that way away from me, and he has to follow. So my hip is also turning. So I'm talking the knee away, and my hip is turning. And like I said, if needed, use his second leg to push him up. But usually, that's enough to bring him over and flatten him here again. And then the second one, we're here. Let's say I can't manage to get it because he's hiding it. Sitting up, switching, bring him over here. Okay. I'm also hipping up a bit, so I'm switching my hands and I'm hip up a bit to help the move. Okay. Questions? No? Okay, so give it a try.
It's an autobiography, he was a pimp, and then he got out of it.
We're here. So the second position, I forgot to mention that, okay? People were asking me when I switch this hand, what am I supposed to do with this one, okay? So here, this one is posting. As soon as I switch, I'm posting with the other arm, okay? So, we're just this, from this, okay? And when I'm high up already, I really want to sit square on my hips. I'm not here under him still, so one hip is not touching the floor, then it's really easy for him to fight back. But when I'm really square like this, it's really hard for him to fight back, because I have good posture here, and now he has to work. I mean, Tommy is a bit heavier, just a bit, but still he has to fight a bit to bring me back down here into this position. So it's really important. I have to be square on my hips, and then it's really easier to switch. If you're here halfway on my I'm just on one hip here, then it's of course of course harder to switch around and grab him. Okay, I'm not flexible at all, so I have to really bring it up here and then switch. And then, like I said, I'm on my both hips. When I switch around here, for those who are in gi, grab the fabric. Same thing here. If you have the fabric, grab it. I prefer to do it in no-gi, this octopus guard. Switch around, and this one is posting on the floor. And then when I bring him that way, it's like Lara said, you're using your hip, so it's a bit like a hip bump switch. And back goes. Okay. The first one, I'm going to show the first one also again. Here, bringing it down, sit up. So I want to get this click here. Like I said, if you have long legs, you manage to get the leg properly, not like me. I just have tiny short legs, sadly. I want to really, you need really a proper hook, okay? I can't be like flat like here. Then it's easy for him to disengage that. So when I get the hook, I really want my feet to be catching his shin here. And then I'm talking it away from me, okay? Just. So you can try that one a couple more times. Let's show you another one I like to do. That's the main one I do. If you guys do this all the time now, if I see that during the mats, I'm really happy. That's the main usage for me, for Octopus, is like I said, he tries to cross-face me here. I manage to get up here. I try to build my base, and he tries to posture up. So that's the most reaction you will get, is people, they don't want to face plant, they're gonna put the hands down and they're gonna try to posture up again. So when they posture up again, you're gonna do a basic, also a hip bump sweep, but if people remember the basic ones you did at white belt, in close guard, Kimura sweep, it's basically that. So we have him, we have the control, we still have the hand here, so he's posturing up. Now my hand that's on the base here is gonna knee tap here, and I'm gonna follow him, follow his movement. So he's posturing up, and down, down. Okay? What's important with this one is, if you notice, we basically land in the octopus guard, okay? So you really want to roll through and land on your hip. You don't want to land square here, or it's his turn and you'll be in the death spiral of Octopus, and we don't want to. So we really want to bring my weight down here. My hips are low. If he doesn't have the half guard, we want to bring my hips towards his face, and then I will just mount him right up, okay? So one more time. So I beat cross face, he tries to come up, and we sit down that. Okay, so my hip, one of my hips should be on the bottom, not square like this. If you land like this, and he knows Octopus, he's gonna reverse you as well, so I try to go up, and then he's gonna reverse me. And like I said, we're in the death spiral, and we continue, and continue on, until one of us is exhausted. Okay, so again, here, he tries to cross-face me, we build the base. Oh, I don't want to be down there. If you're fast enough, you don't need to knee tap, you can just hip bump him. If you have strong hips, that shouldn't be a problem. But if needed, just take the post away when he's coming up, and then you just knee. Questions? Yes?
I had a question to the first sweep that you did. Like, how do you beat the post? Because when we tried it, like, the first thing was post on the hand.
I will come to you, okay? Try the first ones if you want, and then do the hip bump as well, okay? I'll be around, you can ask me questions, I will come to you. Now it's strong, okay? Like if you try to do this one, it's really gonna... We'll show another hip bump sweep, sorry. And then some people had a question, what should I do if they post and they have a good base on the arms, and I feel like I can't sweep them. We're gonna go through that as well quick. Well, not quickly, we have another 30 minutes. I hope I can fill that time somehow. So Tommy, come here please. So some people have that issue here and then hip bumping them properly. So that, how should I say? The sweep is really, you have to do it from them initiating. So that's my main movement I do from the octopus guard. So mainly, usually it's like really we're scrambling, and he tries to crossface me, already trying to go up here. And his first reaction, usually, people don't know that, it's this exactly. They're gonna try to come up, or they're gonna try to come up and sit down on their butts. So you come up here. And that's gonna be really helpful, okay? So that's really he's initiating this movement, okay? Sometimes if I feel I'm strong enough, I can do it as well, but then it's more of a struggle because he's fighting against it. Here, then it's a bit harder, then I need to tap a bit to get him down. But it's really easier when he gives me the momentum to do that because I'm lazy sometimes, oftentimes. So if my opponent can do the work for me, that's perfect. I don't have to work. He does all the exhausting stuff for me, then it's really perfect. So feel it when you do the sparring. I mean, there's a couple of people here, but I mean, there's probably more people not here. So try to find someone that didn't come to this class or hasn't seen Octopus and just do the hip bump. So just get to that Octopus guard and you will see 50% of the time it works, 30% of the time, whatever. So really, this one should really work. I mean, this is really one of the easiest ones. So like I said, I'm happy if you hit this one at least. The other ones, the hip switching, it's a bit, you have to get used to this position first. But getting here and hip switching up, this should be the bread and butter of this position. And you should be, I mean, I did this was it last month, the 100 camp? I did a 30-minute class with Laura. And I saw some people already doing this hip bump sweep after just 20 minutes in the scorching sun and with too much Aperol spritz in the body. So I think most of you will be able to do that. But I can show you another hip bump that might be a bit not easier per se, but let's say he's really like he doesn't come up or he's fighting against you. You know, he tries to crossface again. Against you, and he doesn't initiate the movement, and maybe this is hard, then what you can do is switching from this hand is switching either to his shin, so the shin that's close to my upper body, or even going like a, I don't know if you couldn't call that reverse single, but like really grabbing the leg from here and initiating a rollover. So it's still a hip bump sweep. So from here, he's not, I can't bring him, he's putting pressure on me. I grab the shin and bring him down that way. Okay, so it's the same, basically the same movement. Okay, so sometimes it might not work. Like I can't bring him up here, I switch here and I sit up a bit higher and then bring him down. Here, for this one, you need to elevate your hip really higher than just a normal hip bump, okay? Come again. Right, let's turn a bit more that way. Okay, I beat it up. I try, it doesn't work. Like I said, either grab the shin or really go steep onto his leg here. I like really grab the shin, but both work. And then you face up, and it's still a hip bump, okay? But you might need to bring your hip a bit higher because if his knee is on the ground, it's a bit hard. So, and bring him over here. And then same thing, I want to sit my hip down on the floor. Like I said, we don't want circle of death, octopus guard, and him sweeping you again after all that hard work we did. I'm already sweating for this. So one more time. Up, up. That way, face a bit that way. No, turn that, thank you. Okay, we beat it. I try to, he's not coming. Up, going here, grab his shin, bring the hip up, and you see his butt is already going that way when I do this. And then bring it over. So it's spinning around. Bring him up. And same thing, my hip, I'm not staying here, because here for him it's easy to push me up and then be square, and he does it, okay? So I bring my hip down here. If he doesn't have the half guard, I try to do some leg entanglement and just go up into mount. That's the ideal situation. Okay? So that's the second one you can do. Now we had a question as well about what to do when your opponent is not giving any reactions. Like he stays here in that position, he doesn't know what's happening, he's afraid of doing any wrong movement. So, coming down here. So he's just basing on his arms. I try to, it's not working. So what should I do here? Or he's even maybe like lifting his hip up a bit. So because he's afraid of anything happening. So from here you can just sit your hip out a bit, grab out, knees out, and you go for back takes, or you just get away from him and wait for him to stand up again if you'd like to wrestle, for example. So that's one of the things you can do. So repeat here, and the posting. I try, it's not working. I try this way, it's not working. Just swing your hip away. You have still one hook to keep his leg away. You can switch, bring the leg out, and you're here in this position, go for the back takes, or just disengage if you don't like your partner.